Hello everybody. Pretty boring night, so I thought I'd do another video. And this will be a firearm video, but I will not be using firearms, I will be using visual aids. Centers around two things. It centers around one, the 223-556 round, which is this, and the 9mm Luger, which is the 9mm round. This round is a 22 caliber centerfire. That's the firing pin. There we go. And this is a bullet that the AR-15 shoots. Nothing spectacular. It's a small round. It's very loud because it's got a big powder cartridge. It'll sail very far, but you're looking at a teeny tiny bullet. It's a small bullet. This is what the AR shoots. Most of your pistols that people use will use a 9mm. It's effective enough, the bullet's large enough, and a short enough distance it'll do the job, and anybody can shoot a 9mm. It's not a big thing, not a lot of drama, and it's an effective round. These are probably the two most common rounds that you'll see. When you see people going to buy, they're going to buy either a 9 or they're going to buy 223-556. So one of these two rounds will be what you see people buying up. What do they shoot with them? Well, you know that most people with a 223-556 are going to shoot a variety of rifles. The most popular is the AR-15. Shown here in an M16A3 form by a G.I. Joe with a custom uniform, basically a custom rifle. I'll explain these. These are 20th century toy uniforms. They made uniforms for 1/6 scale, G.I. Joe scales type soldiers. They have their own, but I'll show you one of theirs, not that great. So if you took a conventional cheap G.I. Joe, say a Toys R Us, bought it, discarded the uniform or gave it to somebody else and swapped it for one of these, you would have very, very highly detailed, pretty cool collectible soldier if you're into that. Well, this one here, he's sporting, like I said, an M16A3, which is basically an AR-15. All M16s came from the AR-15. Not the other way around. Like, it was designed initially to go out and be a military gun. It was an experimental gun that was invented in the late 50s by Armalite in California to replace a lot of the heavy old style rifles that the military was using that small round in a 30-round magazine. Double stack, single stack, I don't know. But basically, he had an aluminum magazine with 30 rounds in it into a rifle with a 20-inch barrel. The military used this. This thing was either semi-auto or 3-shot, as designated by the little switch on the side. Safe, fire. The military would be safe, semi, and then three-shot burst. I eventually went back to full auto. But the thing is, these rifles, I mean, you got to maintain them to shoot them, and they're not made to be machine guns. And to me, an assault rifle is a machine gun or a full automatic weapon. Even in the military, the people are using these, they were shooting them semi-auto, one shot, one whatever. I had friends that were in the Army, so they never used these like machine guns. They had machine guns and squad automatic weapons. They had the capability, if needed, to shoot, like I said, 3-shot bursts for this one. The short one, which I'll show you in a minute, the M4, that one can shoot full auto. But then now they went to a totally different gun that Heckler & Koch made. But going back to my basis of this rifle brings a lot of fear and trepidation into people. It looks nasty. It's not. It was meant to utilize new technologies using aluminum versus steel, using fiberglass and impregnated nylon instead of wood. So you can use it anywhere, jungles, cold temperatures, extreme of temperature are not going to damage these. And another thing with these, there's no recoil. They're very easy to shoot. they're very safe to shoot, and they don't intimidate the soldier. And when you have women coming into combat, you want a gun that everybody can use. So what they did was they came up with the M4. And most of the AR-15s you see are the M4 pattern. Basically what that is, it's a shortened AR with a collapsible stock, which rides up the buffer tube. That's the buffer tube. There's a spring in there that absorbs the minimal shock from the round. And basically this one here, this top part comes off and there's a flat Picatinny rail on top, so you can put optic sights. This is what the military was using. And when you see somebody go to a store to buy an AR-15, this is what they're getting. You don't see the handle. It's usually the flat rail, and then they can either put like a Magpul pop-up sight, or they can put a optic sight. And that's where the money comes to these. They put these expensive optic sights, and they're like, I know, people use them like toys. But the people that I know that have these rifles have them because they're forgiving. They're easy to maintain. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to clean them and take care of them. And if you use them decently and respectfully and maintain them, they'll last you forever. That's why people buy these. They don't want to be beaten up when they're shooting. They want to have fun, and they want to master the skill of shooting. And having a rifle like this will do it. And like I said, when women started coming in the Army, you needed a rifle basically that everybody could use. Everybody, male, female, big, small, one that'll work effectively for everybody. And that's what the M4 wound up becoming. And then when civilian sales kind of patterned, because rifles are very ergonomically friendly and decent rifle to use, most people will go and buy one of these. I mean, why mess with something that will intimidate you, mess you up, or just totally make you crazy when you can have one of these babies here? And that's why people buy these. Nothing sinister about them. And they're probably the most popular semi-automatic rifle in the United States. This is a 20th century toy figure. The costumes and weapons I was telling you about, this is what they look like. I mean, they look kind of scary compared to a good old G.I. Joe. I mean, seriously, look at the two of them. This guy looks like out of a slasher movie, but he's got some good features. His hands move around better to manipulate the weapons. And like I said, the costumes and the clothes that they have and the weapons far superior to what Hasbro had at this time period with G.I. Joe. Unfortunately, the company went out of business, so things like this that I have from them, I'm going to hold on to them because they'll be collectible. I have a bunch of their weapons. And when I do stuff like this and explain weaponry, I'll never go and show a real... I think that's intimidating. Even though they're legal, they're protected by the Second Amendment under the Bill of Rights. You shouldn't be doing that. I'm flashing them around because people get nervous. But people should be educated about them and not fearful. And that's why it's better to have something detailed like this. You're seeing what it does. Try to explain it the best that I can, and why, people want one of these. I mean, they want to be safe. People don't want to be like cowboys and idiots. So why take something that's risky when you can have something that you can take care of easily and be safe and enjoy the sport of shooting with? I have one other to show, and that would be this. Don't be afraid by this. This is what a state police kind of thing is set up. Once again, G.I. Joe in a 20th century toy SWAT team uniform. And he was holding, it fell out of his hand into my lap, an MP5. An MP5 will shoot the 9mm pistol round. Make it so it's clear, everybody can see it. See the double stack? This is a double stack magazine. They're side by side. The AR is a single because they all come up one. When you see them like that, it's a double stack. This is set up to work off a rifle round. And this is a delayed blowback. What that means is this rifle here is a gas impingement rifle. Inside it, when you take this apart, through the receiver, is an impingement tube, a gas impingement tube. And it's staked down to here. What you have to do is you got to clean it when you clean this rifle. This rifle will open into two pieces, an upper and a lower. You got to pull the bolt out, clean that, clean all the inside, swab out the barrel, get all that done, lube it up nice, and then make sure it's all nice and shiny clean. You put it back together. that uses an impingement tube, so it's very little to no recoil. This is a blowback, and anybody that watches this video knows anything about blowback rifles. Depending how big the bolt is, it can be painful on your arm sometimes. The one rifle that I do have is a 9mm carbine. It's a blowback. It's a Ruger, and it does have a heavy bolt. You'll feel it. Whereas you get the larger 22 round in the AR-15, there's no recoil at all. Extremely loud, but no recoil. These are manageable rifles. The AR is set out for shooting long range. This is good out to like 100 yards. And if you wanted to defend yourself, plus plink shoot, you get one of these. Because also the ammo for this will go into this. This is a Beretta 92 pistols, a 9mm pistol. So you have that round and you have these. This round comes in 50 round boxes. And it can power both of these. So if you, for the basic economy of having shooting as a sport, wanted to go in a rifle and pistol, cheaper to go the 9mm route. It's good for target shooting. It's good for plinking, just sport kind of shooting. And if you need it as a defensive weapon, there you go. I would never use an AR-15 as a defensive weapon. Not in a house. The flash, the loudness of it, you'd be deaf and blind the first time you shot it. This, I mean, it's a 9mm. It's gonna be big pop, but it'll do what you need to do, and it could defend a bunch of people. But then you're not buying to go. You're not buying to go and be like a cowboy. I mean, yeah, you use them for defense. They're probably the best defensive thing to use because you know they're gonna do. They're safe. I would never use a knife or a blunt object or like crazy stuff you see on TV if I was being a defender. But that's not what this is about. This video is just about explaining the mechanics and why people buy what they buy. But a lot of people, because of dollar value and just to be economical, will go this route. Two guns, one bullet. Where you buy one of these, the AR, like I said, fantastic rifle. Probably as iconic as an Enfield musket from the Revolutionary War. It represents America. It's neat. It's aluminum, it's fiberglass, it's got all kind of composite stuff, and it's modern. It's expensive to shoot. The ammo's not cheap, and they come in 20 round boxes. And the only thing you're going to use this for, basically, is target shooting. It's not really a hunting rifle. I wouldn't hunt with one. But to be skillful, to hit little paper targets out at 200 yards, utilizing whatever sighting stuff that you have, this is great. You can go on a competition shooting with that. Win some prizes, win some awards. Hey, maybe you make money doing that. And this is the kind of rifle that you'd want to use. This is better and accurate for that. And the thing is, that's why the military adopted it into the M16 and M4 that they're using. It's a good gun that you can use basically anywhere. It's very kind of modular. And it's very forgiving. It's a very safe gun. And that's what you want. You want something that everybody can use and be safe using. And that's the biggest thing about this. And that translates into the AR that people use and buy at all the sporting goods stores. They want a good, safe, reliable, and fun gun to shoot. And this one is. But it's not cheap. Because to feed it with these bullets, 223.556, it's going to cost you a little bit of money. But then again, the choice is yours. If you want to be very competitive and kind of really serious, uber kind of seriousness, you go for this. But if you got multiple things you want to use it for, use your guns for, you go the 9mm route, you got a rifle, you got a pistol, you could buy more of this ammo for a lot less money. And you could buy it and store it to save money too, because there are shortages sometimes and then prices go up. It's a lot easier to have this. And this is just my opinion than the AR. The AR is nice. If you're into guns, everybody should have it just because of what it is. But I would prefer the 9mm round to use. And basically, those are the two most popular rounds in the United States. You have 22 long rifle, you have all other types of rounds, but from a number standpoint, 9mm or 223. That's what you see. If you go to a store, you go to a Cabela's or a Bass Pro Shop, That's what everybody's looking for because it's the type of guns that they have. Not a conspiracy, not somebody going out to do whatever. And there are people that do bad things with guns in their cities, like Chicago, for example. They purchase stuff in Indiana and bring it back. And Indiana just doesn't care because the way they do whatever over there, I don't know. Other states you couldn't do that and bring it back here, but that's why they go to Indiana. And the thing is, the people that use those guns, they don't know what they're doing with them. They don't target you. They don't train with them. They're killers, basically. Go out and just blast away, and it's, you know, it is what it is. But you can't, like, mess the whole country up for a group of idiots, and that's why people move away from places. But to demonize something that's part of your heritage and rights is not a good thing, and that's why I did this. And like I said, I'm not going to show actual guns and stuff. I might show more videos like this. I have more soldier stuff dressed, more of a historical theme. I can get into the mechanics of like the weapons and stuff that they use. But that's basically it. I'm going to do another plane video probably. I might do a pen video because I'm looking at that. I'm looking at used pens and prices going up, especially for fancier pens. And if you want to go look and to buy those, I mean, you know ways to find them through estate sales. And the thing with that is a lot of the pens are made of silver and a lot of them have high gold content. Makes them kind of investable things to keep because they can be sold for their weight in the precious metal that they're made in, especially silver pens, sterling silver that are hallmarked. But anyway, I don't want to deviate from what this video is about. I'll be putting more up because of the holiday coming up, and hopefully everybody's doing fine, and hopefully see you again. Take care and good night.